box. Canate's there to tidy up though. His clearance isn't a good one, and the ball's going to come back in towards the area. Dumfries. Oh, he could have taken it down, Dumfries. He had a lot more room than I think he realised. He headed it back across goal, but he wins the ball back at the edge of the D. Liverpool in trouble here. Shot comes in. Oh, and it's just wide of the post. That's so unlucky. The shot came in from Martinez around about 25 yards out. Liverpool had a real struggle trying to clear their lines on this occasion, and the ball has gone behind for a Liverpool goal kick. And ultimately, it was a decent effort from Martinez. Liverpool, though, were just really struggling to clear their lines there. Just 2 or 3 touches and a little bit of nervousness in the Liverpool back line, and Inter almost taking advantage of it. But the shot from Martinez just went wide. Alisson was slightly scrambling across to his left-hand side. But Liverpool do survive early on, and it's very early on here, just about 5.5 minutes on the clock. Inter Milan have the ball back midway inside their own half, down the right-hand side with Dumfries. And they go back towards the centre-half area. They've still got it in the middle of their own half, and they go back in eventually through Brozovic, and just a little bit stop-start at the moment from Inter Milan. Skimri at the edge of the D, he's just happy to go back towards his left back, and neither team are going to try and will move it back towards Alisson for the time being, though. And Liverpool will start again. They move the ball out towards the right-hand side. They've given it away here, Liverpool, right in towards the midfield area. Brozovic will return it down towards the centre half, though, and now it's going to be brought out by Skimriar. Skimriar will go left to Bastoni, and Bastoni just trying to draw Diogo Jota onto him and create half a yard to release the ball back in towards the midfield area. But credit to the Liverpool man, he wasn't going to buy that, and the high press from Liverpool has paid dividends here as Jota manages to win the ball back, and Fabinho finds Mane, and now Salah into the area, gets a left-footed shot, and it's blocked, and it goes away for the first corner in this contest from the right-hand side, and this time it's Inter Milan, who are very slow or very unsure when they try to play out from the back, and neither side look like they're overly suited to this play the ball out system at the moment. Just early game nerves, though, I should imagine, and Liverpool came close to conceding as they gave the ball away in the final third earlier on. And this time, Inter have conceded a corner, which will come from the right-hand side. Both Canate and Virgil van Dijk are forward. Fabinho is also in the box in a bus queue from the looks of things. It's going to be a right-footed Trent Alexander-Arnold delivery from that right-hand side. It should swing away from Handanovic's goal. He puts up the signal with his left arm. Right-footed ball in towards the penalty area. Headed on by Fabinho. And then Mane back across the 6-yard box. And Fabinho can't get on the end of it. Mane trying to keep it alive. Left-hand side of the area. Comes back out towards Harvey Elliott. He tries an early cross, which is blocked. It will drop out towards Thiago, though. Thiago sends it left. Mo Salah will pick the ball up. Is he going to take a touch? He's not. First time in towards the area in the back post. Mane doesn't. Challenge in the air, and it's cleared. Then Thiago on the volley in the edge of the area, and it's just going to land on the roof of the net. The goalkeeper for a second wasn't sure. It was spinning on the volley. Very difficult for Thiago to control. He did very well, though, and it almost dipped under the crossbar. It ends up landing on the roof of the net. Big chance for Liverpool, and it's still Inter Milan 0, Liverpool 0 here in the San Siro. We've got almost 9 minutes on the clock. Inter take the kick short, and has been launched by the centre-half Bastoni, looking for Dzeko. Well won again in the air by Van Dijk this time. And it goes all the way through to Alisson, and Van Dijk picks it up on the right-hand side, goes forward towards Trent Alexander-Arnold. His first touch was somewhat heavy, taking him back towards his own goal, and he was under pressure from Perisic. But Perisic just manages to push the ball out of play for a Liverpool throw-in down the right-hand side. Good work from Perisic, but very good concentration from Trent Alexander-Arnold, who really has to be up there with the best right-backs in the world. It's been a long time since I've seen a player quite as good as Trent Alexander-Arnold, and he's got a pretty good fullback on the left side as well in the form of Andy Robertson. Throwing comes in from Alexander-Arnold. This one goes straight onto the head, though, of Skriniar, and it goes forward again. Martinez tries to give chase, but Alexander-Arnold will clear up towards the halfway line. Skriniar gets there ahead of Mane, and then the ball is released towards Jota on the right-hand side. He's got Mo Salah just ahead of him. Instead, he moves it left towards Mane, the edge of the penalty area. Harvey Elliott finds Andy Robertson, takes a touch, and he's just leant back as the cross comes in. It goes in towards the far post, but it was a very, very good height for the Inter Milan goalkeeper, Handanovic. And after catching the ball, he jogs up to the edge of his 18-yard box, and he's just going to slow everything down and just take a little bit of the sting of the game. The first 10 minutes, it has been a very quick start, as you would expect with the elite competition in European football. And Inter are trying to come down the right-hand side now, and it was well played by Vidal, and he goes back towards De Vrij, who's on the right side of the three in the centre-half area, and it goes forward and along, but they're looking for Dumfries down the right-hand side, but he was going to get nowhere near that Dumfries, and it drops out of play, and it's going to be a throw into Liverpool down the left-hand side, level with their own 18-yard box, and Andy Robertson's trying to... Well, he's asking for some movement at the moment, not a great deal ahead of him. Thiago goes in and then out again. Diogo Jota's come back towards his own goal, and Alexander-Arnold still has the ball in his hands. Eventually it's Mane he's decided to throw to, and Mane instantly gets dispossessed by Skriniar. That's poor from Sadio Mane. He goes back towards De Vrij, and now Inter Milan have it with Skriniar, the centre-half, out towards Dumfries. He's now midway inside the Liverpool half, 5 yards in from the right touchline. He goes in square towards Calahagnu, and then out towards Martinez, right-hand side, level with the penalty spot, right-footed ball in towards the back post, and the flag goes up. It was a free header. They actually had two over at the back post. Martinez put the ball in. It went over the header, Dzeko, but there was another Inter player just at the back there in the form of Vidal at the back post, but Martinez had judged to have been in an offside position. It went over the head of Dzeko, but it was a free header for Vidal. He didn't make much of it anyway, and Liverpool survived. But just something Liverpool need to be aware of. The two men over at the back post for Inter there can cause problems as the game goes on. Liverpool move it forward with Trent Alexander-Arnold, though, and Diogo Jota manages to escape from a challenge from Vidal in the centre circle. He's got Andy Robertson going down the left-hand side, and Sadio Mane in the penalty area. And the free kick's been given to Inter Milan. It was the wrong choice of ball, in fairness, from Diogo Jota. He did so well to escape from Vidal in the centre circle. He was bearing down towards goal, and he gets two options. He had Sadio Mane going through the middle, but he had Andy Robertson tearing a strip down the left-hand side, desperate to receive the ball. He tried to spread the lines towards the heavily guarded Sadio Mane. Skriniar gets a foot in to slow it down, and then Mane fouled Bastoni. And now Skriniar with a clever feet down the right-hand side. That's got to be handball against Thiago, you'd think. He went to ground and clearly stopped it. The referee didn't see, though, and it's not going to be given, and Liverpool have the ball back. And that's a little bit, to be fair to the referee, his positioning was very, very good, but the positioning of Thiago as he was on the ground, there's no way the official could have seen it, and the assistant really needed to help his referee out there. And there's going to be should be a handball against Inter as well, as Diogo Jota manages to go forward, and then Skriniar and Dumfries managed to close down to Diogo Jota illegally, so he's going to get a free kick anyway. The ball had skimmed off the surface, and it was a clear handball. It's Dumfries in the end who was pulling back on the Liverpool man. And just a couple of questionable decisions in the past 30 seconds or so from the official, but you have to play devil's advocate, and the positioning's very good from the referee. It's just ultimately he can't give what he can't see, and he does need a little bit of help from his assistants from time to time. Liverpool, though, have a free kick midway inside the Inter Milan half, around about 6 or 7 yards in from the left touchline from a Liverpool point of view. Two Liverpool players, Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold, are preparing to take it. It will be the left foot of Robertson in towards the back post. It's a really good one as well. Header comes in. And it's just over the crossbar. And it was Sadio Mane at the far post. It was a gorgeous ball from Andy Robertson. Liverpool held their run excellently. And Sadio Mane, unmarked at the back post, tried to head it back towards the far post. And Sadio Mane should have done better. He probably should have scored. Inter Milan survived, though, and it remains Inter 0, Liverpool 0. Gorgeous ball from the Liverpool left-back. It really was undefendable. The goalkeeper couldn't have come for it. Any touch from the defender would have taken it into the net. And Sadio Mane, he had the whole goal to aim for, really, and he put it over the crossbar. A player of his ability and talent, he should be scoring those. Inter struggling to play their way out again now on the left-hand side, and eventually It was cleared by Perisic, and it goes against the back of Mo Salah and out for a goal kick, and Inter survive. But again, for the third time in this game already, in the opening 14 and a half minutes, one of the sides struggling to play their way out, and they stick to this system, as the modern footballers tend to do. And I can see that there might be a problem for one of these sides this evening if this carries on. Inter with the goal kick goes short again, and there's another, oh my goodness, in towards the edge of the D, and it's a heavy ball towards Bastoni. He eventually sends it to the right-hand side, and they try to release Dumfries, and Dumfries manages to get on the end of it, but he can't find Dzeko. And then Liverpool give it away in midfield, and Kagalohanglu sends it out towards the left-hand side. Perisic now being faced up by Fabinho. He tries to escape down the left-hand side. It's taken a touch off Fabinho, but it's gone to Perisic, who gets the ball in towards the area. Oh, and a shot from Kagalohanglu hits the bar. Oh my goodness, Inter Milan again, almost undoing Liverpool. Excellent work from Perisic down the left-hand side. And it was slightly weak from Trent Alexander-Arnold. He didn't get across to slow the cross down. And Calahaglo gets in towards the area. His first touch on his right foot, it bounces up in front of him, left-footed across Alisson, and it hits the crossbar, and it bounces clear and out for a Liverpool throw from the right-hand side, which Alexander-Arnold finds. Andy Robertson manages to find Sadio Mane, and it comes back to Robinson, and now he squares it out towards the right fullback area, and he finds Alexander-Arnold. Forward to Harvey Elliott, he goes all the way back towards Alisson. Alisson closed down by Martinez, but he managed to get a gorgeous ball out towards Andy Robertson. His header, though, won't find a red shirt. It will come back to Robertson, and then his clearance again gives it away to Brozovic in the midfield area, and then Brozovic gives it away, and it's getting all a bit scrappy, but Sadio Mane gets his foot on the ball, and he finds Fabinho charging in towards the edge of the area, and that's going to be a free kick, and it's a bit of a harsh one, it has to be said. An Inter Milan player there was getting back ahead of Fabinho, and he goes around the leg of the Brazilian and takes the ball in. Actually, on second viewing, I disagree with myself. It was Kagalohanglu, and he got the shins of Fabinho, no question about it. I'm wrong, the referee's right, and it's rightfully a free kick to Liverpool midway inside the Inter half. Very central, though, but a good opportunity to just test this into resolve, who have struggled to play out in the past 15 minutes or so. It is possibly within shooting distance. I've got this around about 40 yards or so. Robertson and Alexander-Arnold are both around this, with their forearms over their mouths, deep in conversation at the moment. An Inter player has just gone down off the ball, and the referee wants to speak to a couple of Liverpool players there. I didn't really see what happened. I just saw that an Inter player, initially I thought the Inter player was going down in the area as one of those draft excluders in the wall. Oh, it's Sadio Mane. He's pushed Vidal over. I think Vidal went over too easily, but I'm not sure if Sadio Mane was jostling for position or if he just ran into the Inter man. Here comes the kick, though. Alexander-Arnold is not a good one. It's headed clear, but not well. Sadio Mane takes it on his right thigh. He's heading towards the left byline. Dumfries holds him up, and the cross bounces off Dumfries. And now Inter will break through Vidal, and Vidal wanted to go early. There was no options forward for Inter, though, and he's forced back towards his own penalty area. Martinez, the striker, then runs straight into Thiago, and it hits Thiago's foot, and it goes out of play for an Inter throwing down the right-hand side from their point of view. But again, Inter trying to play their way out, and again, Liverpool's high press is really putting pressure on the Inter side. Thiago's landing on his arm there. He had the Inter man land on his elbow as he went down, and that's an awkward, horrible landing for Thiago. He's up and okay, but he's still holding his arm at the moment. The entire weight of the Inter player landed on Thiago's arm. Not a nice one to see. Ball goes forward, though, from Liverpool. Jota takes it on his chest, tries to hook it over his head, but he was held up by De Vrij, and ultimately it goes all the way through to Handanovic in the Inter goal. But another big opportunity for Liverpool there, and Inter have returned to playing their way out. It has to go back towards the goalkeeper, Handanovic. He's got De Vrij just ahead of him, but instead he just goes to the left-hand side this time, and Bastoni out towards Perisic. Perisic launches long, straight into the head of Alexander-Arnold on halfway, and he finds Harvey Elliott, and he's decided to go all the way back to Konate, and now Van Dijk in the centre circle. Cruyff turn from Van Dijk, finds Thiago, seems to be moving fine. His arm's not bothering him as much as I thought it should be after that Inter player landed on it just a few moments ago. Konate will move the ball out towards Alexander-Arnold, 5 yards inside the Inter half, but he turns around and goes back to Konate again. Squared across to Virgil van Dijk, and Dzeko just moves towards Van Dijk, just enough to make him nervous enough to knock the ball back towards Alisson. Now he goes out towards Konate on the right-hand side, and Konate under pressure gives it away to Perisic, and Perisic gets the better of Alexander-Arnold. Konate goes across to cover, the ball comes in, it bounces off Konate, and it goes away for Inter Milan's first corner of this game from the left-hand side. Excellent work from Perisic, who is looking ever so lively down that left-hand side. He got in earlier on, leading to Inter hitting the bar. It was Cagnaglo just gets in towards the penalty area, and his shot struck Alisson's crossbar. And again, Perisic gets down that left-hand side, and he causes friction for the Liverpool players, and it bounces off of Konate for this corner. Mo Salah back at the edge of the penalty area. Lots of players in and around the Liverpool 6-yard box at the moment. Goalkeeper Vidal being spoken to by the referee at the moment. This should swing in towards Alisson's goal. It will be a right-footed delivery, and it is in towards Alisson's goal. It's over Alisson, who was scrambling, but it's over everybody else, and it goes behind for a goal kick. I'm not entirely sure if he's going for goal there, to be honest with you. It was a heavy kick in towards the back post. There was no blue shirt anywhere near it. And Cagnaglo there with the corner, just a little bit heavy on it, but I think he may have been looking for the far post. Alisson with the goal kick, and they're going to go short. Straight to Fabinho, who's under pressure at the edge of the D, and Alisson with the outside of his right foot just about gets the better of Martinez. And Robertson has to win the header in the left-back position, and he gives it away. And Dumfries tries to get in towards the area. Robertson back recovers. It falls to Dumfries, and he plays it against Andy Robertson, and out for another corner to Inter Milan. And as I was saying earlier, both these sides are committed to playing out from the back, and neither side are looking comfortable doing it at the moment. And there's going to be a goal come from one of this sooner or later. The coaches must be, Inzaghi and Klopp, must be on there in their technical area, having kittens at the moment watching this from their sides. Corner to Inter. Going to be taken by Cagnaglo on the right-hand side. It's an outswinger this time, straight onto the head of Fabinho and headed clear. It's going to be returned to Cagnaglo on the right-hand side. Poor touch from him. Runs straight into Andy Robertson, who finds Harvey Elliott. Harvey Elliott tries to release Mo Salah. Mo Salah is up against Dumfries. Dumfries gets there first, and he goes back towards the goalkeeper, and now released towards Bastoni on the left side of the Inter area. Oh my goodness, and he tried to give it to Perisic at the edge of his D, and he just about got there ahead of Harvey Elliott. And again, trying to play out is just causing danger for these sides. And big news in the other game. We'll come back to that in a moment. As Fabinho picks up the ball midway inside the Inter half, finds Alexander-Arnold on the right-hand side. Ball in towards the post. Headed clear, but only as far as Jota in the area. Can he find room for a shot? He can't. Mane, now up by the left touchline, twisted and turning, goes in against Vidal, who puts it out for a corner on the left-hand side. And again, more danger for Inter in the 22nd minute of this game. This is an end-to-end. This is an excellent game of football. Very entertaining. But as I said a moment ago, I'm sure both coaches are having kittens that the team's trying to play their way out. And now that big game news from the other game in the Champions League tonight. Salzburg have taken the lead against Bayern Munich. Here comes the corner for Liverpool, though, here. Andy Robertson, in it goes, over the head of Van Dijk. Mane with an overhead kick at the edge of the 6-yard box, and he puts it wide. Oh, my goodness, acrobatic effort from Sadio Mane. It just dropped over his head, and he had to improvise as he turned his body. And the overhead kick just slices it wide of the post. That's really unlucky from Sadio Mane. He shinned it rather than make connected with his foot. Just wide of the post, and it remains into 0, Liverpool 0. And Inter Milan are trying to play out again, and there's between Bastoni and Handanovic at the moment. It goes back towards Handanovic, who's finally seen enough, and he finds Zeko in the centre circle by going long. Zeko's fouled, but the referee plays advantage as Perisic has the ball on the left-hand side. Midway inside the Liverpool half, he steps in and away from Alexander-Arnold. Harvey Elliott comes back to hold him up. Vidal is under pressure from Fabinho. It goes back via Brozovic out towards Bastoni. And now on the left-hand side of the centre circle. Infield it goes to De Vrij, and now out towards Skriniar. Back in towards Zivri in the centre circle, just 10 yards inside his own half at the moment, out towards Bastoni on the left-hand side, now back in towards De Vrij, and Liverpool are forcing Inter Milan further and further backwards here. Excellent defensive work without the ball from the Merseyside men. Now it goes towards Bastoni on the left-hand side. Perisic is going to have to come back and try and get this defeat. It's a poor ball forward though, and Alexander-Arnold finds Mo Salah. It goes forward in the right-hand corner of the penalty area towards Jota, and a quick 1-2 between Jota and Mo Salah. Goes out towards the corner. Mo Salah didn't continue his run, and De Vrij will clear, but only as far as Fabinho. Outside of the right foot, out towards the right-hand side of the penalty area, where he finds Jota. Forward it goes towards Harvey Elliott, and now back towards Trent Alexander-Arnold. He uses the outside of his right foot to go forward to Harvey Elliott, and it goes back to Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Liverpool move about to Konate on halfway. Squares it across to Virgil van Dijk. moves the ball to the feet of Sadio Mane, midway inside the Inter half, out towards the left-hand side, and Alexander-Arnold. Liverpool patient here, will just go back towards Virgil van Dijk and now Konate. Right-footed ball, he finds Trent Alexander-Arnold right on halfway, moves slightly forward towards Harvey Elliott, now finds Mo Salah. Soon as Mo Salah touches the ball, an interpress is triggered, two players go straight into the back of him, so he lays the ball off to Alexander-Arnold, now Konate. Forward again by Alexander-Arnold. Harvey Elliott gives it away this time, and Inter's patience pays off. Martinez finds Vidal in the centre circle. He's trying to send the ball out towards Perisic on the left-hand side. Didn't trust his left foot, though, and he ends up trying to shield the ball, and he gets pushed over on halfway by Fabinho. It will be an Inter Milan free kick, left of centre. Just on the left-hand side of the centre circle, this was. That was a little bit braver with his left foot there. He could really have set something up for Perisic down that left-hand side, but he wasn't. And from the free kick, they've moved it all the way back to Skimria, and it's going to go back towards Handanovic. In fact, it's not. He drew in Mo Salah and then used the outside of his right foot to find Brozovic at the end of the D, and now it's moved forward, and Perisic trying to get the better of Konate down the left-hand side. Konate's hesitating here. Perisic has a chance, and Alisson, in the end, Alisson Becker just jumps on down, and he just dives on the ball and protects his centre half, but Konate just having a couple of moments of unsurety for Konate at the centre half area, and Perisic is really trying to test him down that left-hand side. As soon as he gets past Alexander-Arnold, he's one-on-one with Konate, and Perisic is winning that duel so far in the centre of the Inter half at the moment. Skimria goes in really heavily on Mo Salah there. Mo Salah goes down, nothing given from the referee. The ball's been worked back towards Handanovic. Salah back to his feet. It didn't look a tidy challenge at all to me from the Inter Milan player, and now Bastoni plays it against Sadio Mane, and he's going to shield the ball to go over the touchline. I'd like to see that incident again. We don't get too many replays given to us here, but Mo Salah had hold of the ball, and it was a ball in towards the feet of Mo Salah, and it's not a good challenge at all from Skimria. Just seen it again here, and he's missed the ball completely. He's taken both feet of Mo Salah, and I'm very surprised that not only a free kick wasn't given to Liverpool there, but also a yellow card for Skimria. Poor decision from the referee. 26.5 minutes on the clock here. Vidal has the ball midway inside his own half for Inter, and he sends it out towards Kaglagu on the left-hand side. He's twisted and turning under pressure from Elliott, and he's going to find Skimria, the man who should have just been booked. His header's a poor one. It goes behind Zeko, and Van Dijk finds Thiago, and now the ball's been worked out to Robertson on the left-hand side, forward to the feet of Mo Salah, 10 yards outside the area and is back to goal, gives it away under pressure, but Fabinho wins it back from Vidal, who then in turn, I think he's fouled Mo Salah there. He's gone through the back of Mo Salah, and he has done, and Liverpool have been given a dangerous free kick, and Vidal's fouled him twice, really. One hand grabbing the arm of Mo Salah, and the other one kicks through the back of the Egyptian international for Liverpool, and Arturo Vidal, who represents Chile, of course, is protesting his innocence. I'm not sure why footballers do that, to be honest. They must know that every moment of the game is filmed, but ultimately they always protest their innocence. And the free kick is Liverpool's. It's around about 25 to 30 yards from goal. It's left of centre. In fact, it's been moved back a little bit further by the referee here, so it's a little bit further back. It's about 30 to 35 yards back from goal. Alexander-Arnold was placing it with intent. There's only a three-man Inter wall. For the talent that they've got here, Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson, this is shooting distance for Liverpool. I think it's going to be Alexander-Arnold. He steps up. It is Alexander-Arnold, and it's just over the crossbar. It's a lovely free kick. He beats the wall, but he couldn't get the come down on it. It just sails over the crossbar. Unlucky from Trent Alexander-Arnold. Oh, it's not far away. Inches over the crossbar, just over the wall, and he just couldn't get it to come down enough. Excellent effort, though, from Alexander-Arnold. It remains Inter 0, Liverpool 0. Six times winners of the Champions League or the European Cup are Liverpool. So their last victory came against Tottenham Hotspur, 2-0 victory, which was somewhat mired by an early controversial penalty that was given by VAR, a penalty decision that, if was to happen in this game tonight, would not be awarded. And then a few teams benefited that season. I remember the famous one, the Manchester United one at Paris Saint-Germain. The game's not going on at the moment. The Vri is receiving treatment for some sort of head injury at the moment. It looks like it may have just had a shiner. I'm not sure where that incident occurred, but it's just on his, it looks like his right eye at the moment. It may just come off. He's going to have to go off and be invited back on here, the centre half for Inter. So they'll probably tuck in Brozovic for the time being while they're temporarily down to 10 players. Brozovic has, in fact, walked back towards the D at the moment. But Inzaghi desperate to get his man back on the field. As you can imagine, we're in the 30th minute of the game here. It's still 0-0. Liverpool doing most of the running, but Inter have hit the bar. Calahagno after being set up by Perisic down the left-hand side. De Vries is on the field now, waiting to be invited, just off the field of play, waiting to be invited back in. The goal kick from Handanovic does manage to come back in. He has been invited now to the free, and there's just a little bit of reorganisation for Inter as they put Brozovic back into the holding midfield role. They move the ball back to Handanovic in the Inter goal, and they're trying to play their way out again in this high press from Liverpool is causing problems. It goes back towards Handanovic on the line, and he just about manages to find De Vries. And De Vries is trying to clear, but his clearance will only go as far as Thiago. He squares the ball in towards Fabinho. The two Brazilians link up, and he thought he was fouled. Fabinho, who's playing for the free kick, and he left the ball behind thinking the referee was going to blow, and Inter clear, and they try to release Martinez down the left-hand side, but Alexander-Arnold's there to put the ball back towards Alisson, and he finds Van Dijk on the left-hand side of the 18-yard box. He plays it infield towards Fabinho, and he goes back towards his goalkeeper, and he takes a touch and finds Virgil van Dijk. Still right on the edge of his penalty area, left of centre, Virgil van Dijk, the Dutch captain. Got back towards Alisson. He takes 2 or 3 touches and then he decides to launch long. Mo Salah with a flick on, finds Sadio Mane, and Mane with his first touch manages to find Harvey Elliott on the right hand side. Ball comes in towards Salah, and De Vries there to volley clear just before it reaches the Egyptian, and Inter clear. Van Dijk finds Andy Robertson though midway inside the Inter half, back infield towards Thiago. He finds the feet of Alexander-Arnold, takes a touch and shoots, and it goes high and over the crossbar. Not one of Trent Alexander-Arnold's best efforts. 31 and a half minutes played here at the San Siro. It remains Inter Milan 0, Liverpool 0. It's been an entertaining game here, and as I said earlier, as you would expect from the Premier game or the Premier competition in Europe. 2 more European competitions tomorrow. The Europa League and the Europa Conference League will also recommence. Inter trying to play their way out, and they're slightly more successful this time. Bastoni plays it in towards the centre circle. He's fouled after the ball has gone, so it will come back for a Inter Milan free kick. Just a bit impetuous from Diogo Jota. Just puts a hand in the back of the Inter man as he clears the ball. No real danger, but Inter again, they play backwards, and they this time have managed to work it out to Skriniar, just 2 yards out from the right touch line. It's a poor ball forward, and then Arturo Vidal has to go to ground to play it against Andy Robertson. It bounces off the Liverpool left back and goes out of play midway inside the Inter half down the right hand side. It will be an Inter throw. And Vidal's just putting himself about a little bit here. I'm expecting a yellow card at some point from him this evening if he carries on doing this and playing the way he does. They've stolen about 20 yards from this throw-in Inter down the right-hand side. Dumfries is still stealing yards. The referee's quite happy, and from midway inside the Inter half, they're actually going to take this from 2 yards inside the Liverpool half down the right-hand side. And for all of the yard stealing, it was for absolutely nothing, as the throw from Dumfries was poor, and Liverpool win it back, but it give it away to Inter in the form of Brozovic in the midfield area, and then Andy Robertson has to chase the touch of Brozovic, and he manages to place it out to play again for a Inter throw-in. It goes forward this time. That's got to be a foul on the left-hand side. It looked like a foul by Andy Robertson. 2 players coming together. Vidal stayed down. I don't think the referee's given a free kick though. It's going to be a Liverpool throw-in down the left-hand side, and Vidal, with some of the paint from the touchline on his forehead at the moment, it certainly looked like a foul from Andy Robertson. He definitely went through the back of the Inter man. He got nowhere near the ball. 2 hands, pushes Vidal over. Just looking to see, here's the Liverpool throw-in. So another poor decision from the official there in my book. It was clearly a foul from Trent Alexander-Arnold, but Inter Milan got away with one earlier on, so it's just balancing up the books. And Liverpool have given the ball away from the throw-in anyway. And Dumfries was very hesitant as the ball was spinning and almost let it run out of play, but go into the midfield area, and Brozovic it goes eventually. And Dumfries will take over, and it goes back now towards Skriniar, the right-sided centre half for Inter Milan. The free was just showing for him on the right-hand side as he went infield, but he's been ignored. Now they're trying to play their way out, and Inter are getting themselves into trouble again. And Bastoni has to go to ground and get his challenge spot on. But my goodness, when are Inter going to learn their lesson? For the previous 34 minutes of this game, they try to play out, and every time they do, Harvey Elliott, Jota, Salah and Mane all make strides for the early press. Dumfries has escaped down the right-hand side, though, and an early ball in is cut out from Canate and has gone behind for an Inter throwing down the right-hand side. But every single time so far, Inter have tried to play their way out of trouble. They have just made an absolute mess of it, and Liverpool have nearly profited. They just got out of it from last-ditch defending from Bastoni on this occasion. And they managed to force a corner down the other end with a long ball over the top. But my goodness, they've got to learn their lesson sooner or later. They might profit, though. 10 minutes to go before half-time. Inter Milan corner from the right-hand side. It's going to be Canagliho. It goes in right-footed. It's flicked away to the left-hand side. Bastoni's given chase. So is Mo Salah. Bastoni gets there first. Plays it back towards Dumfries on halfway. And his first instinct is to go back to his goalkeeper on halfway. He was under no pressure at all, Dumfries. And now Inter are going to go long. And inevitably, they're going to give the ball away, which they have done to Canate. Canate with a poor header up in the air, though, and Thiago has to go shoulder to shoulder with Martinez, and he does so very successfully. And then a first-time ball forward, looking for Mo Salah. Salah goes down. Looked like it may have been a foul on Mo Salah to me, but the referee not interested, telling him to get up. And De Vrij has the ball midway inside his own half, very central at the moment. He waits for the two centre-halves to get alongside him, and he goes left to Bastoni, and then, as is with the pattern of Inter's play, back to Hanzanovic in the Inter goal. He goes long, Dzeko wins the flick, and goes straight onto the chest of Canate, and Liverpool will come again. Harvey Elliott tries to turn this one this time, and he just got that one wrong there, the youngster from Liverpool, and he gives it away. Arturo Vidal on the left-hand side of the centre circle, closed down by Andy Robertson, who was the furthest player forward for Liverpool. Out towards the right-hand side. Salah just gets in towards the area. It comes back towards Diogo Jota. Jota finds Harvey Elliott. It goes out towards Salah, right up towards the right byline. And it was Vidal who went to ground. He managed to win the tackle. It's still in the Liverpool area. Low shot comes in from Jota, and it's blocked. Alexander-Arnold at the edge of the penalty area. Keeps it alive, but he's forced to go backwards. And Van Dijk does a sensible thing, steps around the ball, and he'll square it right towards Canate, and Liverpool will come again down the right-hand side. Forward it goes towards Thiago, midway inside the Inter half, 2 yards in from the right touchline. He goes square and left inside towards Harvey Elliott, out towards Alexander-Arnold on the right-hand side, level the edge of the 18-yard box. It comes back to the Liverpool fullback, and then back towards Canate. He will square it into the centre circle, where Van Dijk just rolls his studs over the ball and uses his right foot to find Alexander-Arnold again at the midway point. Forward it goes to Harvey Elliott, and now out towards Mo Salah on the right-hand side. Heavy first touch, tries a cross. Bastoni goes to ground, and it goes behind for a Liverpool corner from the right-hand side, their third of the first half. An excellent football there. Liverpool starting to find their groove, and excellent inspiration by Mo Salah, who got towards the byline there. He knew he'd run out of room, so he backheeled it as hard as he could against the oncoming Inter Milan player, which was Bastoni. And he manages to win his side a corner. It will come from the right-hand side, and it looks like it will be Alexander-Arnold. It should swing out away from Hanzanovic's goal. The big men are forward again for Liverpool. It goes in towards the penalty spot, and there's De Vrij to head clear, and then flicked on by Martinez. And now Inter, can they hit on the counter? They're heavily outnumbered here. In fact, no, they're not, because as they've managed to get away, Canagliho has managed to make it 3-on-3, and out towards Martinez at the edge of the penalty area, trying to find half a room for a shot. He goes down too easily. He dives at the edge of the box, essentially. He's now looking for treatment, putting his hand up in the air. He'll be up and running in a moment. Liverpool clear. Now the ball goes out of play, and the referee gives a throw-in to Inter, and he's still down here, Martinez. He's at the edge of the box, and he goes in between. There's no contact at all, none whatsoever. It was Andy Robertson who dangled a leg. He gets to the ball. Canate is nowhere near him, and the dangling leg of Martinez as he goes to ground kicks the thigh of Andy Robertson, and he goes down for some reason, looking for treatment here. I can't see any. There was no contact from either player, either Liverpool player, and there's no need for treatment at all. In fact, he's being helped to his feet now. As I said, he'll be running around in just a moment, and he's running around now. No free kick, good decision, and the game's back underway with Thiago in the midfield area for Liverpool. Out towards Canate, right-hand side of the centre circle. Forward it goes towards Sadio Mane. He steps away from Skimriar, uses his right foot to find Harvey Elliott, and left-footed ball in towards Alexander-Arnold. Now Fabinho, it goes forward to Diogo Jota. He got closed down instantly, and Dzeko in the centre circle moves it forward towards Martinez, who's one-on-one here with Virgil van Dijk, and he moves the ball to the right of Van Dijk. Van Dijk doesn't buy it though, and that's Thiago back defending. Far too slow for Martinez. He should have been taking Van Dijk on one-on-one. He didn't know what to do really, and his hesitation and slowness allowed Thiago to get a foot and a toe in towards the ball, which pushes it out for an Inter Milan corner from the right-hand side. 5.5 minutes plus added time before the break. Inter would love a goal here to silence the travelling Liverpool supporters. Martinez picks up his position in the area. He's being man-marked at the moment by absolutely nobody. He can have a free header if he delivers it in towards the box, and he gets a free header. Oh, I can't believe nobody picked him up, and it goes wide of the post. He can't direct his header. It was actually, I think it was De Vrij who got in there in the end. There was 3 or 4 Inter players with a free header, and it was Skriniar actually who got in there in between 2 Liverpool players, but De Vrij was behind him, Dzeko was behind him still, and of course Martinez, 4 players inside the Liverpool penalty area on that occasion with an opportunity for a free header. But they couldn't take advantage of it. And they survive. Goal kick. They've made a bit of a clearance. They've tried to play their way out again here, Liverpool, and they've moved the ball up towards the left-hand side. They've given a throw-in away, though. Poor play from Diogo Jota, and De Vrij has a throw-in down Inter's right for the around about level with the tip of the centre circle. He throws forward. Thiago wins the header. It's volleyed up in the air by Calahagno. And Harvey Elliott will pick it up at the tip of the centre circle. And that's a poor ball forward. And Martinez sees that one. And he plays... Oh, it's unlucky. He played it in towards the feet of Calahagno again. And now it's given away by Andy Robertson in the midfield area. And Liverpool here are just on the rocks slightly. Dumfries picks it up on the right-hand side. 2 yards in from the right touchline. He goes back again towards the midfield maestro Calahagno. He goes towards Skriniar on the right-hand side of the centre circle, forward to De Vrij, and Inter not brave enough to go forward. They're just happy to keep the ball patiently here. And with 3.5 minutes before the break, plus added on time, I can understand their desire to get in with a 0-0 scoreline. De Vrij sends it all the way back to Handanovic for Inter, and he will play it to the edge of the box, and De Vrij will take it up on the right-hand side. He's just taken 2 or 3 steps forward. Alexander-Arnold goes to close him down, so does Thiago. Skriniar will move it forward again. That's good football from Inter, and the ball's been played forward by Dzeko, looking for Dumfries, but there's the man, Virgil van Dijk, who just gets ahead of Dumfries and tucks it back to the goalkeeper. Long ball from Alisson. It's well flicked on by Jota, and De Vrij pushes Sadio Mane 2 hands in the back. He can have no complaints with that one. A free kick to Liverpool, taken quickly. Andy Robertson's escaped down the left-hand side, and thankfully, from an Inter point of view, Brozovic was aware of Liverpool taking the kick early, and he hadn't switched off, and he manages to close down Andy Robertson. He wins the ball for Inter and puts it out for a throw-in, which is taken back to Van Dijk, then Konate, across to Alexander-Arnold, then Konate, and Van Dijk has it now 2.5 minutes before the break. Just touches it right-footed back towards Alisson Becker, who just, inside his D at the moment, just takes a touch and moves it with the outside of his right foot. Just thinking about going long, but there was no real options for him. He goes short to Sadio Mane, who's almost in the N'Golo Kante role at the moment, just at the tip of the midfield area. Goes back to Alisson Becker, and now Virgil van Dijk will find Alisson again, right-footed up towards halfway. Mo Salah on the left-hand side for Liverpool this time, manages to win a flick infield, but it doesn't find a red shirt, and Inter have worked the ball back to Handanovic in their goal. Long ball forward from him, looking for Vidal. Van Dijk's there again to win the header, and Thiago finds Fabinho in the centre circle for Liverpool. Out towards Alexander-Arnold, right-hand side, moves it forward towards Elliott. Elliott takes a touch and then looks for Mane down the right channel in between the edge of the 18-yard box and the touchline, and it's defended by Inter eventually, and it comes off Sadio Mane last, and it's an Inter Milan throw just around about 15 to 20 yards outside of their penalty area down their left-hand side. Perisic has the ball in his hands at the moment. He's just trying to organise while he has the ball in his hands. Eventually he does throw up towards Dzeko, who wins the header, and he manages to find Calahagno. Goes back towards Perisic, and Calahagno will find him again, and Perisic tried to help it forward towards Dzeko, but it was cut out by Fabinho, and then Salah surrounded by 3 blue shirts, which is becoming a pattern. loses out, and Perisic with an early ball in towards Edin Dzeko, and it's a heavy touch from Edin Dzeko. For once he got the wrong side of Virgil van Dijk, who was struggling, and Edin Dzeko takes the touch very central, and it carries just about through to the excellently positioned Alisson Becker, who comes out and gathers the ball, and Edin Dzeko, you can read in his face exactly what he thought of himself with that touch. Big chance that for Inter, and it goes begging. Liverpool trying to come down the left-hand side at the moment. The free is there to tidy up. He clears up towards halfway. But the ball's gone out of play and come back in, much to the chagrin of Artio Vidal. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be an Inter Milan throw down the right-hand side. But it looks as if the free's just stayed down after winning that ball. And I think he's going to require a little bit of treatment. He sat down himself, so there was no impact or anything like that. So a little bit of a concern here for Inter. We are in the final minute of the half. Just waiting for the fourth official to let us know if we're going to have any additional time at the end of this half. It's sometimes hit and miss in European competitions. But we'll just check to see if the free is okay here for Inter. Been down for just a little while, and as I say, it's always a concern when a player sits down under their own steam. He is back to his feet, he's left the field of play now, and he's just going to be invited back in. We've got 2 minutes added on at the end of this half. According to my watch, we've played just about 40 seconds of it, but the game's only just getting back underway now, so I should imagine we've still got 2 minutes to play as the throw-in comes in, and Dzeko flicks it on looking for Martinez, who's offside, and the flag goes up, and Fabinho will take the kick quickly forward to Elliott, who goes back towards Virgil van Dijk, and now Andy Robertson for Liverpool. He goes back again to Van Dijk, squared across to Canate. Canate under pressure from Martinez will move it out to Alexander-Arnold on halfway down the right-hand side. Forward it goes. Jota can't control it, and it goes in towards the midfield area. Brozovic, early ball down the left-hand side, looking for the run of Dzeko. He's not going to get there ahead of Van Dijk, but Van Dijk, all he could do with it was volley it out of play for a throw-in to Inter down the left-hand side. Just level with the edge of the 18-yard box, taken quickly, and there's an opportunity to put the ball in the box. Instead, they square it to Brozovic and then go all the way back to halfway, where the free, I think, is going to go back to his goalkeeper, and that's an absolute waste from Inter. Infuriating to watch. Absolutely infuriating. Forward it goes again, though, to Brozovic, and he's going to go long this time down the right-hand side. There's a really good ball looking for Dumfries, but he can't control it, and it's going to bounce over the touchline and out for a Liverpool throw-in. Just beyond the midway point of their half, down the left-hand side. It's been thrown back towards Fabinho, and Fabinho will go back out towards Alisson Becker. Right-footed, long diagonal from him in towards the centre circle. Salah lets it run, and it looks as if the referee's seen enough, so he's not going to add the extra 40 seconds on at the end of this half. The Liverpool players are trying to make the point as Salah had turned that round the corner, and Sadio Mane was chasing down the goalkeeper. And basically, it would have been one-on-one at that point. The referee, though, has blown for half-time. It's a very, very entertaining half of football. Thank you for joining us for it. We'll be back in 15 minutes' time for live, uninterrupted second-half commentary. All to play for, though, in this first leg of San Siro. Half-time, Inter 0, Liverpool 0.
The live broadcast of this match will start momentarily. On Flashscore, you can also tune in to other commentaries. We regularly bring you the Premier League, the Champions League, or Europa League. while national team matches are also available. Do you want to look at stats while you wait? Have a look at our match details where you can find lineups, head-to-heads, and a lot of other interesting information. Flash Score, game-changing numbers. The live broadcast of this match will start momentarily. On Flashscore, you can also tune in to other commentaries. We regularly bring you the Premier League, the Champions League, or Europa League, while national team matches are also available. Do you want to look at stats while you wait? Have a look at our match details where you can find lineups, head-to-heads, and a lot of other interesting information. Flashscore, game-changing numbers. The live broadcast of this match will start momentarily. On Flashscore, you can also tune in to other commentaries. We regularly bring you the Premier League, the Champions League, or Europa League, while national team matches are also available. Do you want to look at stats while you wait? Have a look at our match details where you can find lineups, head-to-heads, and a lot of other interesting information. Flashscore, game-changing numbers. The live broadcast of this match will start momentarily. On Flashscore, you can also tune in to other commentaries. We regularly bring you the Premier League, the Champions League, or Europa League, while national team matches are also available. Do you want to look at stats while you wait? Have a look at our match details where you can find lineups, head-to-heads, and a lot of other interesting information. Flash Score, game-changing numbers. The live broadcast of this match will start momentarily. On Flashscore, you can also tune in to other commentaries. We regularly bring you the Premier League, the Champions League, or Europa League, while national team matches are also available. Do you want to look at stats while you wait? Have a look at our match details where you can find lineups, head-to-heads, and a lot of other interesting information. Flashscore, game-changing numbers. The live broadcast of this match will start momentarily. On Flashscore, you can also tune in to other commentaries. We regularly bring you the Premier League, the Champions League, or Europa League, while national team matches are also available. Do you want to look at stats while you wait? Have a look at our match details where you can find lineups, head-to-heads, and a lot of other interesting information. Flashscore, game-changing numbers. The live broadcast of this match will start momentarily. On Flashscore, you can also tune in to other commentaries. We regularly bring you the Premier League, the Champions League, or Europa League, while national team matches are also available. Do you want to look at stats while you wait? Have a look at our match details where you can find lineups, head-to-heads, and a lot of other interesting information. Flashscore, game-changing numbers. The live broadcast of this match will start momentarily. On Flashscore, you can also tune in to other commentaries. We regularly bring you the Premier League, the Champions League, or Europa League, while national team matches are also available. Do you want to look at stats while you wait? Have a look at our match details where you can find lineups, head-to-heads, and a lot of other interesting information. Flashscore, game-changing numbers.
Welcome back to the San Siro, where it is Inter 0, Liverpool 0. The team's just emerging in the tunnels at the moment, about to re-emerge for the second half. Roberto Firmino, incidentally, making a somewhat vigorous warm-up during the half-time interval. Just going through his paces a fair bit. I wouldn't be surprised to see him introduced relatively soon. Big fixture pile-up for Liverpool coming as well, qualifying for the League Cup final. They're victims of their own success, really. Still in 4 competitions. Interestingly, Arturo Vidal was applauding the Liverpool players as they came out on the tunnel. It's the Liverpool players that are emerging first. I think there may be a substitution of some description in the offing here. I can see the 4th official is there with the board, ready to go. I'm just looking to see if any... It looks as if it's as you were from Liverpool, so just see if there's an interchange. I think it's going to be a change for Inter Milan here, and I think the free is the man who's going to come off. He did struggle a little bit in that first half. And Roberto Firmino is also now taping up his socks, so there might be a change for either side here at the interval. We'll find out. Well, we'll keep you posted. See the goalkeepers just back in their own respective goalmouth areas. It's going to be Inter playing this second half from left to right. Roberto Firmino is going to come on. He's now stripped and ready to go. Not sure who hasn't made it out. Is it Diogo Jota who I haven't seen emerge? Well, the game is going to go back underway. It's just the Liverpool change for now. It's only Roberto Firmino who's coming on from what I can see. Bastoni has the ball. He goes back towards De Vrij, who has emerged from the tunnel. He goes back to Handanovic. He was under pressure there from Sadio Mane. And it is Diogo Jota, incidentally, who's not re-emerged. So it was Roberto Firmino on for Diogo Jota. Liverpool again trying to head the ball towards the Inter Milan goal. Handanovic just easily comes out, takes the ball at his feet, and he clears up long. Vidal goes down looking for a free kick, not given. It bounces off Fabinho last, and it will be a throw into Inter down the right-hand side, right on halfway. Goes back out towards De Vrij, and Roberto Firmino's first introduction is to win the ball back, and now Liverpool trying to escape down the left-hand side. Thiago beats two players and then runs into a third. Vidal wins it back for Inter, excellent defender from him, and De Vrij has it on the right-hand side. He's going to come back, though, to the right-sided centre-half Skindrier, and now De Vrij will have the ball at the edge of the D. He's got Bastoni just on this left-hand side. Comes back, though, towards Brozovic, who comes back again out of the midfield area to the edge of the D, and Inter trying to play their way out. And the high press from Liverpool is still there at the moment, and Inter almost got themselves into trouble on 5 or 6 separate occasions in the first half, but they're sticking to their plan. Fabinho tries to head it back towards the Inter goal, and it's been shoved out, and now Bastoni will move the ball forward. He finds Perisic level with the edge of the Liverpool penalty area on the left-hand side. He steps away from Alexander-Arnold, takes too many touches in towards the box, but he lays it off, and the shot comes in from Brozovic from 25 yards, and it goes wide of the post. He drags it, really, hits it first time, but for all Liverpool's possession at the start of this half, the opening 90 seconds of this half, is Inter who have the first shot on goal, and they were allowed too much room down the left-hand side. Now Liverpool trying to get themselves in trouble with the high press, and this time it was Thiago who bailed Liverpool out and managed to win his side of throw-in as well, playing it against Perisic. Throw-in comes in from Alexander-Arnold towards Salah on halfway. De Vrij was all over Mo Salah, but he kept the ball in field, and now Dumfries has tripped Sadio Mane. He nutmegged him as Roberto Firmino tried to play in Sadio Mane. He managed to nutmeg De Vrij, who just stood his ground. Dumfries stood his ground and fouled Sadio Mane, and Liverpool will have a free kick midway inside the Inter Milan half. Sadio Mane just a little bit slow getting back to his feet at the moment. He's not going to receive treatment or anything like that. Free kick is dead centre in Liverpool half. It's just slightly right of centre, dead in the middle. The usual suspects, Andy Robertson and Alexander-Arnold, are there. The high line from Inter is just at the edge of their own 18-yard box. It's a very good line as well. Mo Salah's taken up a position on the right side, but every other player is on the left side in the red shirt. The ball comes in. It doesn't beat the first man. The free heads clear, but only as far as Thiago. He finds Konate, who's taken up a position on the left-hand side. He's under pressure from both Vidal and Dumfries. Vidal eventually gets a foot in. He pushes it out of play for a Liverpool throw-in down the left-hand side, level with the edge of the Inter Milan 18-yard box. Thiago has the ball in his hand. He doesn't want to go back towards Andy Robertson. In fact, he's going to change his mind, and he's going to let Andy Robertson take over and take the throw-in. It goes down to the feet of Roberto Firmino. Quick 1-2, goes back to Firmino. Firmino goes bundled off the ball, looked to foul, but Vidal comes away with it, and Martinez has it on the right-hand side of the centre circle. Thought about a long ball, but it was nobody forward. Fabinho holds him up, and instead the ball goes out to the left-hand side of Perisic. Quick step over from him. Harvey Elliott back doing his defensive duty. Alexander-Arnold still trying to hold up Perisic. Gets all the way to the byline. I think he was trying to buy a corner off Alexander-Arnold, but he managed to dig a cross out, and it was a decent one as well. Dzeko couldn't get there, though, and Liverpool clear. Mane can't get on the end of it, and De Vrij will move the ball out towards the right-hand side. Vidal hugging the right touchline, goes back to De Vrij on the halfway line. He uses the outside of his right foot and moves it forward again to Vidal. Vidal in towards Dzeko, suspicions of offside, flag stays down at least for now. Martinez tries to help it out towards Dumfries on the right-hand side, wrong choice of ball. He had Perisic over on the left-hand side. Liverpool shut the door, and Elliott has it in the centre circle. Good ball forward, finds Mo Salah, and he helps him one more forward towards Roberto Firmino on the left-hand side. Dumfries trying to get back. Roberto Firmino hesitated, and there's Vidal and Dumfries to tidy up, and Vidal will find De Vrij at the edge of the penalty area on the right-hand side of the D, and it goes back in towards Handanovic in the Inter goal. Still 0-0, 4.5 minutes of the second half have been played. Perisic has it with takes it on his thigh, just in from the left touchline. He finds Brozovic, and a quick 1-2 between Brozovic and De Vrij. Now releases Vidal down the right-hand side. He's about to cross into Liverpool territory. He comes back, though, one more time towards Brozovic. Brozovic closed down well by Alexander-Arnold, but he still keeps hold of the ball on the right-hand side of the centre circle, and eventually he's going to find the free. The free will find Calihagno, and it goes out towards the right-hand side. Skimria goes back in towards the free, and Inter are being very, very patient here. Diagonal out towards Bastoni, who's operating more as a left wing back in this second half. He's twisted and turning, gets past Alexander-Arnold, held up by Elliott, comes back towards Perisic. Perisic throws the dummy, then drops the shoulder, and it's a good ball in towards the box. He steps away from it, Harvey Elliott, and the ball in towards the far post. It did have Martinez, who was showing eagerness for it, but Alisson Becker rises above the Inter Milan number 10, and he manages to catch the ball, and the distribution's excellent towards Firmino, and Roberto Firmino gives the ball away. Vidal on the right-hand side, forward it goes to Martinez, and back towards the centre circle. Bastoni showing for it on the left-hand side, midway inside the Liverpool half. He comes back now towards De Vrij will move it out towards Bastoni again on this left-hand side. Early ball. It's a really good ball as well. And Vidal's in the area, and he tried to chest it into the path of Martinez rather than get it down and have a shot. Poor play from Liverpool, though, and it's back with Vidal in the penalty area. He sits Fabinho down, but he's run out of room. Manages to find Dzeko on the left-hand side, drilled across the 6-yard box, and there's no blue shirt there. And Sadio Mane will clear for Liverpool on the left-hand side. He manages to beat the first player, but not Skimria. Here comes Inter again. Right-hand side, he misses out Dumfries this time. Now here is De Vrij. Right-hand side of the area, in towards the area. Van Dijk hooks clear, and Harvey Elliott should complete the clearance. And he's looking for Sadio Mane, but that's excellent play by Brozovic. He gets there first, but they've made a bit of a mess of it, and Mo Salah's trying to get on the end of it. It bounces off the feet of the Egyptian international and goes out of play for a throw-in down the right-hand side, but much, much better from Inter Milan. They really did just turn the style on there a minute ago, and Liverpool did not look overly sure, but it was very good defending from Virgil van Dijk, who snuffed out danger. The ball's back with Hanzanovic, and he manages to find a teammate just in the D, and it goes out towards Brozovic on the right-hand side. Skimria takes over, and he moves the ball forward out towards this right, and Dumfries. Early ball looking for Perisic. Alexander-Arnold is not tight enough to him. Perisic in towards the back post, and Martinez with a tap in, but he misses the ball. It goes straight across the face of the goal, and Inter Milan really should be in the lead here. Although Liverpool have had most of the shots on goal, it's Inter Milan that have hit the post, and they've created the two best chances of the second half so far. Liverpool on the ropes. They're trying to escape down the right-hand side, though. Salah can't control it, and he thought he'd won a corner for a moment, but in the end, he's adjudged to have gone into the back of Bastoni and fouled him, and it will be a free kick to Inter. But that chance just a moment ago, Dumfries on the right-hand side, gorgeous long diagonal. The first touch from Perisic was brilliant, and he put a perfect ball in towards the back post where Canate was the wrong side of his man, and Martinez just could not grow enough to make contact, and the ball ends up going out for a throw-in to Liverpool, but huge chance at the start of this second half for the hosts here. The ball's at the other end of the field at the moment, but it is an Inter Milan throw-in, level the edge of their own 6-yard box. Dumfries is back down the right-hand side to throw it in towards Brozovic. Brozovic does very well to turn it in towards Dumfries. He was under pressure, and Dumfries gets out of trouble and then plays Skimria into trouble on the byline, and that's a really poor ball across the penalty area. Oh my goodness, what was he thinking there? And Mo Salah can't control it, and Hanzanovic has to come out and gather the ball up, but I have absolutely no idea what Inter were thinking there. Dangerous ball straight into the path of Mo Salah, and thankfully from an Inter Milan point of view he couldn't control it, but hearts in the Italians' mouths on that occasion. Liverpool, my goodness, maybe Liverpool should be 1-0 up. What a second half we have in store for us here. We're only 9 minutes into it. The ball's gone long. Perisic helps it forward, but it's a poor ball. Alexander-Arnold, long ball over the top. De Vrij should manage to head it away, but he can only find Brozovic, and Brozovic had to control it, and that gave it straight to Thiago, who then dallied on the ball, and Vidal picks his pocket. Vidal was back to goal, manages to turn it round the corner towards Dumfries. Andy Robertson paying attention to him. He's just inside the Liverpool half. He has to come back, though, and he links up with Vidal again, who's since switching to that right-hand side. Vidal is having a much bigger impact on the game. De Vrij will bring the ball forward for Inter. Right-footed, long diagonal, looking for Perisic down the left-hand side. Perisic will keep this in play. Alexander-Arnold holding him up. He's right at the byline, but he has no support down the left channel. Eventually, support comes in the form of Cagliano. Early ball in towards the box. Zeko with the header is going to drop in towards the area. Martinez can't keep it alive again, and Van Dijk clears, and it goes all the way through to Zanovic, and Liverpool are hanging on here. 10 minutes of the second half have been played. The three will move the ball out towards Brozovic on this left-hand side. It comes back to De Vrij, and now back to Brozovic, midway inside his own half, left of centre. He lifts it over Mo Salah, and he finds Bastoni on the left-hand side. It comes back again, though, to Brozovic, and Inter Milan just going to be patient. No need not to be at the moment. They've been the better side in this second half so far. A lot of football to be played yet, though. It goes forward in towards the centre circle, now helped out towards Perisic. Perisic has Bastoni going beyond him. Harvey Elliott is holding him up, though. It finds its way through to Bastoni, though, and Perisic continues his run down that left channel. If he can keep this in play, this is dangerous. He does. The ball goes into the penalty area, and Van Dijk comes across and wins the header at the edge of the 6-yard box, and it's behind for an Inter Milan corner, but Liverpool here are on the ropes, and Virgil van Dijk comes to the rescue yet again. Perisic is getting a lot of joy down this left-hand side. He did very, very well to keep that in play. It was almost behind the byline, but the whole of the ball never crossed the line, and the cross came in, and now they have this corner. Calahagno will deliver from the left-hand side. It will be a right-footed delivery. It should swing in towards Alisson's goal. Here it comes, in towards the area. Two Liverpool players win the header, and drops to the edge of the penalty area, and Bastoni leaning back as he hits it from 20 yards high and over the crossbar. Unlucky, but still more pressure from Inter Milan. Will they rue these missed chances, though? Two Liverpool players getting in their way, though. Canate and Thiago with the two. And it came out towards Bastoni. He hit it first time, just leaning back, though. And it goes over the crossbar. But again, are Inter going to rue these missed chances as they come? Alisson Becker is going to go long from the goal kick. At least Liverpool have learned from the high press of Inter. Inter yet to learn that lesson, but they haven't had a goal kick to played themselves into trouble recently. On the left-hand side, Brozovic picks up the ball, and Inter again finds Skriniar, and out towards Dumfries. Van Dijk's there again. He gets ahead of Dumfries, and he puts it out of play, left-footed. It's going to be an Inter throw, midway inside the Liverpool half, down the right-hand side. They're asking all sorts of questions here, and Liverpool are about to turn to their substitutes bench again by the looks of things. And new signing Ruben Diaz is going to come on for Liverpool. There's going to be another change as well. We'll bring you that in a second, though, as the ball's been thrown in towards Zeko, and he finds Perisic, left-hand side of the area. He gets half a yard, and the ball comes in, and it's well cleared by Canate. Excellent defending out towards the left-hand side, and it goes out for an Inter throw-in level with a penalty spot. Perisic has the ball in his hands. Are Liverpool going to be able to make the changes? I don't think they are before this throw-in comes in from Perisic. Vidal's just lingering at the edge of the penalty area here, and I know he's about to make a move. He's shielded by the referee. Harvey Elliott hasn't seen it. It was a really poor throw-in, though, by Perisic, and then Harvey Elliott buys a foul from Bastoni, and Perisic arguing with the referee, and he's going to talk his way into the referee's notebook here if he's not careful, Perisic. The referee's done a good job of just calming him down, and then they walk away. It's clearly a foul. He did wrap his right arm around the left arm of Harvey Elliott and just pull him down, Bastoni. And to be honest with you, it did look as if Perisic's throw may have been a foul throw anyway. It was a really poor throw down towards Bastoni. And it's going to be a triple change here for Liverpool. A triple change. So Diaz is going to be the first player to come on. And Harvey Elliott, he has had a decent game, but he's going to come off. So is Sadio Mane. Naby Keita will come on for Liverpool. And Jordan Henderson as well is going to come on for Fabinho. So that's the three Liverpool changes. They've made four now. And Jordan Henderson is going to take the captain's armband here for Liverpool as well. So Keita is on. Like-for-like change with Fabinho, really. Harvey Elliott replaced as well with Jordan Henderson, and Sadio Mane replaced with Diaz. 31 minutes to play. Jordan Henderson is trying to G his side up as the goal kick from the free kick rather from Alisson Becker on the right-hand side of the 18-yard box does go long. It's headed up in the air by the fridge, and it's going to drop on the chest of Vidal. Vidal launches it over the top, and then Zeko. The flag stays down for now. He's one-on-one with Alisson Becker. He puts the ball in the back of the net, and then the flag goes up, and I think VAR will, of course, confirm that this is offside. He looks like he was in a big offside position here, Edin Dzeko. And he is just, it's a lot tighter than it looks, but he gets in between the two centre-halves. He is a good yard offside, though. Lovely finish as Becker comes down and just tries to, Alisson Becker comes down and just tries to narrow the angle. Dzeko, the experienced finisher, though, puts it to his left, and VAR did not take long at all to confirm that that goal is ruled out, and rightfully so. Excellent officiating on this occasion. Jordan Henderson finds Mo Salah on halfway. He's tripped Jordan Henderson as the ball comes back to him, so it will be a free kick to Liverpool on the right-hand side, just about 7 or 8 yards back from the halfway line, and Liverpool have offered nothing so far in the opening quarter of an hour of the second half. We have played an hour. Still, Inter 0, Liverpool 0. As I said at the top of the broadcast, though, no away goals in the Champions League anymore. Mo Salah takes the ball in his chest down the right-hand side. We'll come back to that in a second. Bastoni just having to hold him up. It goes forward towards Roberto Firmino. Back towards Jordan Henderson, now with the armband on. Out towards the left-hand side. First chance for Diaz to get his legs open. He turns it round the corner to Andy Robertson, who then tried to backheel it for some reason. I really don't know why. And he gives it away. But Inter hurry the clearance. And it's only gone to Virgil van Dijk on the halfway line. Jordan Henderson back in that quarterback role at the moment. Takes over and he'll find Van Dijk again on the left-hand side. Forward it goes to Andy Robertson and he finds Thiago. Thiago cuts in and just evades the challenge, and Roberto Firmino takes over the charge and he loses his footing and gives the ball away. He's done that 4 times since coming on, Roberto Firmino. Lovely step away in midfield, and Inter have got players over, and one of them is Edin Dzeko, and this time he does beat the offside trap and he's got options in the box, but he can't find one because Naby Keita is there to defend. And he's defended well, and he just blocks the cross. It comes back out towards Dzeko, though, on this right-hand side. He had an angle for a cross on this occasion, but nobody in the box. Squares it in towards the midfield area, and back out towards Perisic, just in from the left touchline. And he finds Dzeko in the box on the left-hand side. He cuts in on his right foot, and he has another strike at goal. And this time, Konate is the man who blocks the shot, and it's well saved. We haven't had a shot on target, incidentally, from either side in this game. Ball from Liverpool goes in towards the midfield area, and Dumfries tried to take it down on his chest and he misjudged it. Liverpool have it with Diaz now, midway inside the Inter half, left-hand side, 5 yards in from the touchline. He cuts in very centrally. He's got Keita in support. He misses him out though. Alexander-Arnold near the edge of the box, finds Diaz, who returns his right, and the shot goes in, and Skimbria's there to block, and it goes behind for a Liverpool corner. Excellent run from Diaz. Lovely link up between him and Alexander-Arnold, who got forward from right back as he loves to do. And it was a lovely link up, 1 and 2 touch football. And the shot came in from the angle from Diaz. An excellent blocking from the number 37 for Inter. Liverpool corner from the right hand side. And that's the best Liverpool have offered so far in this second half. Still 0-0 though. Alexander-Arnold trots across to the right hand side to take this corner. It looks like it will be an outswinging delivery. Luis Diaz is in there again. Not Ruben Diaz, as I called him earlier. Alexander-Arnold then right-footed. He went to take the corner, and several runs went in towards the area, and Alexander-Arnold saw the ball move in the corner quadrant, and he had to stop. All those players trot back out towards the edge of the box. Alexander-Arnold now ready for the corner, right-footed. It comes in deep towards the back post. Simbria's there to head it away, but only as far as Van Dijk on the left-hand side. He helps it back into the area. There's no red shirts there, though, at all. And it's easily taken for the Inter Milan captain, and it's decent distribution as well, and they've got 4 over here on the right hand side. Dumfries is one of them, and his ball is really poor. He was looking for Martinez, and he had an extra option with Perisic just beyond him, and he couldn't find either man. Alisson Becker comes out and gathers it, and Liverpool have it midway inside their own half now through Thiago. Forward on the left hand side, Luis Diaz can come forward in towards Mo Salah. First time ball in towards Roberto Firmino, who gives it away again. Roberto Firmino, he's really not at the races tonight since coming off the substitutes bench. He is doing the defensive work though, and he does very well, Roberto Firmino. Much better from him as he pursued Dumfries all the way down the right hand side, and then managed to cleanly win the ball. And then Vidal wins the tackle from Luis Diaz, and then plays it against the Liverpool man and out for an Inter throw level with the edge of their own penalty area down the right hand side. Then turns around to the San Siro crowd and tries to G them up and get them behind his side. Liverpool have been much improved though in the past 2 or 3 minutes. And Inter, as I said, are they going to root all the missed chances that they've had in this second half? They've been by far the better side, but Liverpool, their quality is just starting to show through, and you know that Liverpool are capable of taking a game by the scruff of the neck when the chips are down. Throwing still not come in, incidentally, and they've stolen a good 15 yards on it down the right-hand side as well. Thrown forward towards Martinez. He jumps under the ball, but it does drop out towards the midfield, Cagliano, and now out towards Perisic, left-hand side. Oh, he's tried to play it forward in towards the run of Zeko, and Cagliano's just continued his run. He took it on the chest, not realising Zeko was behind him. The ball from Perisic looked inch perfect, and Zeko, I think, would have been one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Poor play from Cagliano on this occasion. Canate has it just outside of his area, and he squares it in towards Virgil van Dijk, right-footed, long diagonal, looking for Luis Diaz, and he's done so well to spin away from Skriniar down that left-hand side. He's twisted and turning, gets towards the byline, tries to come back on himself, and Skriniar then has a chance to get a foot on, and he pushes the ball out for a corner from the left-hand side for Liverpool, and they are starting to crank the pressure up here on the side based in Milan. This corner will be from the left-hand side for Liverpool. Andy Robertson is just slowly strolling over towards the quadrant. The ball's not made it over there just yet. Luis Diaz has taken up a position at the near post. Henderson, Canate and Virgil van Dijk are all in a line. The bus queue, as I like to call it. Bastoni is watching one of them, and so is De Vrij, and so is Skriniar. Van Dijk's trying to sneak in towards the near post. The corner comes in, it's deep, it's poor, and Vidal will take it down and clear it quite easily up the left-hand side. Poor delivery from Andy Robertson. The clearance isn't great though, and Naby Keita manages to move it forward. Heavy touch from Roberto Firmino, and it's a heavy challenge in the back of him from Vidal. Roberto Firmino does well to stay on his feet though, and he's helped the ball out towards Luis Diaz on the left-hand side. He cuts in, left-footed, gets a shot in, and it's a poor one. High over the crossbar. It really wasn't troubling Handanovic, and it's a goal kick to Inter. And with 67 or so minutes on the clock here, it's still Inter Milan 0, Liverpool 0. Not through the ones to try it though. We still haven't had a shot on target in this game yet, but there's been plenty of shots on goal. Some poor clearance again from Inter as they try to play their way out. They've resumed the old pattern. Liverpool can't keep it in play though. Luis Diaz did well to control it. Andy Robertson could not keep it in from the left-hand byline. And it goes out for an Inter throw-in. The exact midway point of the Liverpool half are down the right-hand side. Vidal isn't going to take it. It's going to leave it for Dumfries. He held the ball in his hands for a few seconds though, and then threw it down. 67 minutes have now been played. Throw in from Dumfries up towards Vidal on halfway, over the head of Vidal, and Liverpool have it back. Keita does well to escape from two, now three into players, and he's moving forward towards the edge of the area, and Brozovic was having a couple of nibbles back at him. I thought it may have been brought back for a foul, but it isn't. Liverpool's still coming though, and Luis Diaz takes up a position on the right-hand side of the penalty area now, goes back towards Alexander-Arnold, gives it away, and Inter are going to try and counter in towards the midfield area where Zeko looking to release Martinez, who's trying to check his run. He never got the ball, but it's kept hold of by Zeko, and Cagliano goes back. This time it does go forward towards Martinez. It's a poor ball from Zeko, and it's easily dealt with by Canate, and now it's with Thiago in this centre circle, out towards Andy Robertson, and now Thiago again picks the ball up. Roberto Firmino in the centre circle in the inter half of the field, sends it right towards Mo Salah. Good ball. Alexander-Arnold goes around him. Salah then plays it straight against Bastoni, and Zeko gives it straight back to Canate, and now Mo Salah has it just at the tip of the centre circle, back towards Jordan Henderson, and he finds Van Dijk. Forward it goes to Thiago. Thiago twisting and turning, he sends it out towards the left-hand side. Andy Robertson leaves it for Luis Diaz, and then goes on beyond him. Andy Robertson takes over. Back comes the ball towards Thiago, and forward to Jordan Henderson. Van Dijk again back to Thiago, and back to Virgil van Dijk, and Liverpool happy to be patient. Canate, right-hand side of the centre circle, moves it forward to Alexander-Arnold. He was just inside the inter half, but he comes back again towards the Liverpool half of the field, and Canate will help it back to Alisson just inside his D, and Andy Robertson on the left-hand side now takes over, and he moves it towards the halfway line, finds Roberto Firmino. Roberto Firmino clearly fouled, but Andy Robertson had continued his run, and the free kick's gone against Roberto Firmino here. The game had stopped, and Roberto Firmino's clearly fouled, and the free kick's gone Inter's way. That's a really bizarre decision from the referee. I've absolutely no idea what he's seen there. Absolutely no idea. Roberto Firmino's not complaining too much though. It's a free kick to Inter on the right hand side of the centre circle, and I've got to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, I'm still absolutely baffled by that decision. Inter player came straight across the Liverpool man, Roberto Firmino, and took him out, tripped his leg up, and yeah, I'm absolutely baffled by that. If you see that again later on, I hope you understand what I mean. Inter are making a substitute, and Martinez, who's had a poor evening, to be completely honest with you, is going to be replaced by the former Arsenal and Manchester United man, the Chilean international Alexis Sanchez. And he's going to come on and see if he can make his mark against Liverpool. Martinez has had a torrid time in front of goal. He should have scored earlier on in this second half. A gorgeous ball from Perisic from the left-hand side. Martinez just didn't anticipate it enough and couldn't get there in time as a result. But it's still 0-0 here. We're inside the last 20 minutes of the 90. De Vrij has the ball on the left-hand side of the penalty area for Inter Milan. He moves it forward towards Bastoni. It's a good play out this time, and Alexis Sanchez first touch just in the centre circle, and it's an excellent challenge from Canate, who wins the ball, and then Alexis Sanchez returns the favour with an excellent challenge of his own, who wins the ball back, and into a release. Dzeko here, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and Alisson Becker was backtracking, and Dzeko tried to be unselfish and square it across the penalty area, and that gave Canate, Alexander-Arnold rather, a chance to get back. It bounces off the feet of Alexander-Arnold, and out for an Inter Milan corner, but it was a poor decision from Edin Dzeko there. You really wanted to see the former City man take a bit of responsibility and take a shot from the left-hand side. Alisson Becker had come out of his goal, and he had to backtrack. If it had gone over his head and under the crossbar, it was surely going into the back of the net, but Edin Dzeko, at no point did he get his head up and look up, and in the end he made a poor decision and had to settle for a corner from the left-hand side. Calihagnou is going to come across. He's going to take this right-footed. Doesn't beat the first man. The header away is poor, though. Headed back in towards the penalty area. Headed clear again. Alexis Sanchez takes over. Left-hand side. Finds Calihagnou again. He sends Keita for a hot dog. He delivers a ball in, and Thiago flicks it behind for a corner from the right-hand side for Inter on this occasion. Inter now starting to pile the pressure on again. Do not go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We've got just over 18 minutes to go, and it's very difficult to call which way this game is going to go. Chances at either end, although bizarrely still without a shot on target. Calihagnou is going to come across to the right-hand side to take this corner. Alexis Sanchez takes up a position on the left side of the penalty spot. Liverpool in their zonal marking area. Here comes the corner, right-footed, onto De Vries' head, and he puts it wide. It was a well-worked corner. Liverpool didn't respond. Their zonal marking does make them look a little bit vulnerable to corners at times, and the corner came in towards De Vries on the right-hand corner of the 6-yard box, and he can't direct his header goalwards. It goes high and wide. Big chance again for Inter. Chances at either end in this game, but it is still International 0, Liverpool 0. Long ball from Liverpool, from Alisson Becker, and it's well won by Bastoni. He moves it forward towards Perisic, who twists and turns. He gets the better of Salah, but not Keita. And now Liverpool move it in towards the centre circle. It's going to go straight into De Vrij, though. He tries to find Dzeko, but with far too much power on it, goes over his head, and Alisson Becker will just come to the edge of his 18-yard box and gather the ball up here for Liverpool. He'll find Thiago. Thiago just twists back on himself, and he's at the midway point of the Liverpool half. He's going to send it out towards the left-hand side. It was a poor ball, well seen by Skimria, but he can't control it, and it bounces off of his foot and out for a throw into Liverpool 15 yards inside their own half of the field down the left-hand side. Andy Robinson throws it quickly back towards Virgil van Dijk. Alisson Becker takes over in the penalty area. He does have Keita just showing for him on the right-hand side, but he's going to go long, and Vidal wins a free header in the centre circle. He can't find a teammate, though. There was 3 just ahead of him, but he can't find any of them, and Roberto Firmino picks up the loose ball, and he's on the left-hand side, back to Jordan Henderson, who's been quiet since coming on for Liverpool. He finds Virgil van Dijk, goes across to Canate. Canate back to Alisson Becker. Alexis Sanchez goes to close down the goalkeeper, and Alisson Becker there had no idea Alexis Sanchez was there. He overhit the ball, and he had to recover, did the Brazilian, and he just about managed to clear the ball. Otherwise, Alexis Sanchez would have caused nightmares for the Liverpool number 1. Excellent play from him, and Alisson Becker recovered very, very well. 16 minutes to play. Canate has the ball. He moves it forward into the Inter half of the field. Mo Salah tried to put it into the path of Alexander-Arnold, but it just goes up in the air. Mo Salah chases his own touch, though, and he's got someone lucky as Alexander-Arnold gets the ball in the right-hand side of the area. He tries to look up for a cross, but there's Brozovic to just block the ball away for a Liverpool corner from the right-hand side. Told you there was chances at both ends here. Corners are plenty. And this game can go either way at the moment. Liverpool have a corner. Inter need to get organised quickly. Alexander-Arnold will move down towards the right-hand side to deliver. In fact, Andy Robertson, is going to come. He sent Alexander-Arnold away, and Andy Robertson is going to come to the right-hand side to deliver this corner. So it'll be a left-footed in-swinging delivery from the Scotsman. Here it is. It is left-footed, and it is held towards goal, and it's in the back of the net, and it's Roberto Firmino, or is it Louis Donnell? It's Roberto Firmino who scores the goal. The corner was magical from Andy Robertson in towards the right-hand corner of the penalty area, and there is Roberto Firmino. He goes in and flicks the header in towards the far post. The goalkeeper had no chance, and Liverpool have lift-off in the round of 16 of the Champions League. Inter Milan 0, Liverpool 1. Lovely corner from Alexander-Arnold, and Roberto Firmino with an excellently guided header. He just helped it on into the corner. The goalkeeper was slightly wrong-footed. He was even under pressure from the big centre-half Bastoni as he gets in there, but he gets to the ball first, and he guides it to the only place that is going to guide the goalkeeper. It goes in around about 2 inches from the far post, and Liverpool in the lead here. Roberto Firmino, who's been unimpressive since coming on, but he's done the job that matters for Liverpool. It's Inter 0, Liverpool 1. And Bastoni, the man who was beaten in the air there by the Brazilian, has the ball midway inside his own half. Left-footed ball early in towards Edin Dzeko. Too much on it. It will go straight through to Alisson. And Liverpool's job now for the next 14 minutes plus added on time will be to just see this game out. Just a little bit of game management will be needed here from Liverpool. But they're very, very good at that. They are an exceptional side, and they're an exceptionally professional and hard-working side. Inter need to just come out of their shells a little bit more. They've been the better side in the second half. The irony of that won't be lost on Inzaghi as De Vrij goes a little bit too forcefully into the back of Mo Salah, and he gives a free kick away. It's level with the tip of the centre circle on the right-hand side, and Liverpool, I should imagine, will go back towards the halfway line and just patiently keep hold of the ball. Incidentally, that was Roberto Firmino's third goal in 4 games in the Champions League this season. That's an exceptional record as well. Jordan Henderson has the ball on halfway. He's going to go back to Virgil van Dijk. He uses the outside of his right foot to spread the ball out towards Alexander-Arnold, 5 yards back from the halfway line. Forward it goes to the goal scorer, Roberto Firmino. His first touch was heavy, but Perisic couldn't get there. Firmino manages to recover very, very well. And the ball's been worked out towards Luis Diaz on the left-hand side. It goes back to Andy Robertson, and he will go back towards Canate. And Inter are going to have to operate a high press here to have any chance of seeing the ball in the last 13 minutes as Liverpool have it on that conveyor belt, the pass conveyor belt, and they're not going to let it go. Mo Salah finds Sadio Mane on the edge of the box, and he goes in towards Luis Diaz, and a last-ditch challenge from De Vrij will push the ball out for another Liverpool corner. They scored from the last one. This one's from the left-hand side. And Liverpool were just keeping hold of the ball there, passing it from side to side and making Inter move out of position. Then 2 quick passes. Sadio Mane picks it up from a ball from Mo Salah from the left-hand side, trying to square it into the path of Luis Diaz. And a last-ditch challenge from De Vrij pushes it out to the left-hand side for a corner to Liverpool. The man who took the last corner, Andy Robertson, from the right-hand side, is going to let his teammate Alexander-Arnold have a go from the left-hand side. It worked last time, the swing in rather than out from this side. Let's see if it works again. Here it comes, right-footed, and it's in towards the near post, and it's flicked away by an Inter player, and Vidal has to keep it in play to prevent the corner, and he does manage to do it, the Chilean, as he clears the ball left-footed up towards halfway. Inter have left nobody forward, and Andy Robertson will take it on his head and then play the ball back towards Alisson Becker, who clears first time from his D, straight onto the head of De Vrij, who can only head it in towards the centre circle. Naby Keita takes it down, and Jordan Henderson will knock it back towards Alisson Becker, who moves it out to the left-hand side, and Luis Diaz forward towards Keita, and Keita finds Jordan Henderson back to Andy Robertson, and forward again to Naby Keita. Liverpool just happy to keep the ball at the moment. It goes back towards Andy Robertson, midway inside their own half, and they're happy to go back to Alisson Becker. Long ball from Alisson Becker, though, straight into the chest of De Vrij, and the deflection as he goes forward, only can find Vidal. Vidal puts it into the path of Alexis Sanchez, in towards the left-hand side for Dzeko, and there was a last-ditch challenge, and the shot comes in from Perisic, and it's over the crossbar from 30 yards. And there, Inter almost back on level terms. It was a wonderful take on the chest from Vidal. He plays in towards Alexis Sanchez. He tries to put it into the path of... Edin Dzeko on the left-hand side, but it was a wonderful interception to take the danger out. I think it was Alexander-Arnold back there defending for Liverpool. Excellent defending, and then the shot came in from 30 yards from Perisic, and that goes over the bar, but not by much. Alisson Becker was scrambling to his left-hand side, and they've cleared the ball long. Liverpool, they've brought a throw-in on halfway down the right-hand side. Roberto Firmino again doing very well, wins that throw-in against Perisic. We're inside the final 10 minutes of 90 here at the San Siro. Inter 0, Liverpool 1. Goal scored just a few moments ago by Roberto Firmino from an Andy Robertson delivery from the right-hand side. It's the only shot on target. There have been 20 shots on goal in this game. One has gone on target, and that's the one from Roberto Firmino, which currently separates these two sides. Galahagnu, though, gets the ball in midfield, tries to spread the ball out long, diagonal out towards Dumfries, who made a run in towards the area, but he didn't get the angle on the ball. And Alisson Becker comes out, gathers up the ball, finds Alexander-Arnold, who moves it forward to Luis Diaz on the left-hand side. Back it goes towards the midfield area, where Thiago finds Keita, and then back towards Jordan Henderson. He helps it on to Andy Robertson, and now Luis Diaz level with the edge of the 18-yard box on the left-hand side. Back it goes to Jordan Henderson. And now Van Dijk and Liverpool, with their game management, are just happy to just move the ball from side to side. Inter need to win the ball back. They need to take something back to Anfield next and for the second leg in 3 weeks' time. It moves forward towards Alexander-Arnold, tries to flick it back around the corner. He gets the ball back somewhat fortuitously. He tries to help it towards Salah. It drops for Roberto Firmino. 2 or 3 passes between him and Jordan Henderson. Ball moves forward towards Trent Alexander-Arnold. Lovely play from him to turn it round the corner. He's fouled in the process by Vidal. That should be a free kick, and it is a free kick, as Inter then won the ball back, and Liverpool will have to make do with this free kick around about 40 yards from goal. It's not a good challenge from Vidal at all. And again, I'm surprised the yellow card hasn't come out here for Vidal. He's saying he won the ball, but he got nowhere near it. And that's the second heavy challenge from Vidal in this game. He had one in the first half as well that I thought he should have been booked for. The referee showed no cards at all today, which is surprising, especially in a European competition. But I think Vidal certainly should have been booked for at least one of the 2 challenges, and that one was worse than the one in the first half. Here comes Robertson with the kick, left-footed, in towards the box, doesn't beat the first man. Drops out to Keita at the edge of the box, and back towards Andy Robertson, though. And now Andy Robertson, left-footed, curls it in towards the far post. Van Dijk wins the header, back across goal. It drops towards Salah, takes a deflection, and Liverpool have a second goal. And there's daylight now between them and Inter. 2 late goals for Liverpool. Mo Salah will take the credit. I'm not sure if the shot was on target, but it takes a deflection. It left the goalkeeper helpless, and it drops into the back of the net. And Liverpool have done a real Italian job now on Inter Milan. 2 shots on target for the game. 2 goals to 0 to Liverpool. It's Inter 0, Liverpool 2. I don't think there's any chance VAR will come back and check this. Mo Salah on his return to the Liverpool side has scored by the looks of things. It goes in towards Van Dijk. He heads it back, and Salah takes the shot. It's Bastoni, I think, is the unfortunate man. The deflection originally came off Davry, and it's just taken a nick through 2 or 3 players. I think Bastoni might be the unfortunate one. In fact, it may even be Brozovic. It may be Brozovic, it may be Bastoni. It took a deflection off of one of them. The goalkeeper was helpless, and the ball lands in the back of the net, and Liverpool lead by 2 goals to 0 here. And Inter now really do need to get the ball at the other end of the field. They've got it at the edge of their own penalty area with Davry at the moment. And it's going to go all the way back to Hanzanovic, and he will clear right-footed up in the air into the centre circle. Jordan Henderson will challenge, but Van Dijk, with a big loud shout, wins the original ball, and then Dzeko can't make it stick. Alexis Sanchez is too far away from it, and it goes back to Alisson, and Van Dijk has the ball at the edge of his own penalty area, and he moves it to Thiago, who finds Canate. Of course, Manchester City, another English side, they beat Sporting by 5 goals to 0 last night in this competition. In the first leg, which is also away from home, that was in Portugal, so you can safely assume that Manchester City will be in the quarter-final, and I think it's almost as safe to say that Liverpool may well be with them. I know there's a second leg to play, and Inter are a good side, but I don't see Liverpool losing by 3 or more goals at Anfield, to be honest with you. Vidal has the ball, is back to goal. Keita puts pressure on him. Vidal plays it back towards Skinria, who gives it straight back towards Jordan Henderson, and it goes out towards Keita, who finds Mo Salah, who tries to play it in towards Luis Diaz at the far post, across the floor and across the 6-yard box, but an excellent diving save from Hanzanovic to pluck the ball out. James Milner's getting ready to join the fray just below us as Perisic comes in on the left-hand side. Vidal feels pressure from Keita and goes down like he's been shot. Interesting, Keita isn't that big a player. And it will be a free kick to Inter, but not before James Milner can make his bow. Yet another Champions League appearance for James Milner, the very experienced man. He's had plenty of clubs: Newcastle United, Leeds United, Manchester City, Aston Villa, just to name a few. And he's been here at Liverpool. He's been playing at the top of the game for a long, long time. And he never really looks a foot out of place, James Milner. He takes such care of himself and his fitness. And he comes on for the final 4.5 minutes here of the 90 to replace Thiago. Inter move the ball forward. Zeko has it with his back to goal at the edge of the box. Canate holding him up out towards Perisic. Left-hand side. Floats it in towards the back post, and Alisson Becker just watches that. And he plucks it out of the air. Never in any danger, Alisson Becker. And he gathers the ball down. Keeps it in his hands. And he runs up towards the edge of his box, and he's going to distribute from his hands, and he's going to look for Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz looks as if he's fouling his man there. The referee not interested. The free will help it back towards Hanzanovic, and it goes out towards the right-hand side for Inter. Forward it goes towards Brozovic in the edge of the area. They're trying to help it out towards the left-hand side. I think that's a foul by James Milner. He pushes over Skinria, and it is a foul, and it is a free kick to Inter Milan, midway inside their own half, right of centre. They're going to bring on Matteo Darmian here, are Inter. They're also going to bring on Gagliardini by the looks of things. Dumfries comes off for Matteo Darmian, former Manchester United man. Gagliardini comes on for Arturo Vidal. And Ranocchia will come on again as well for Inter. Triple change for them for the final few minutes, and he comes on to replace Dumfries. So, very last throw of the dice there for Inter. Incidentally, Bayern Munich have found an equaliser. It's 1-1 in Salzburg, between Salzburg and Bayern Munich. And the ball's been helped back towards Hanzanovic, and it goes out towards one of the substitutes who just hangs it up in the air. He was under pressure with his clearance, but it's going to go to a red shirt, helped on by Salah, and a poor clearance as well from Brozovic, and Skimria even worse. And Luis Diaz picks up the ball for Liverpool and goes back towards Jordan Henderson. 2.5 minutes of the 90 left to play. I'm expecting around about 3 minutes added time here. Liverpool looking very, very comfortable at the moment. The body language of some of the Inter players, they've just sort of dropped their shoulder. It reminds me of a Manchester United performance in this stage of the Champions League a few years ago when they came to the San Siro. They beat AC Milan, featuring David Beckham. I think it was 4-0 on that occasion, and once the second goal had gone in, I saw the same sort of body language from the AC players on that evening as I'm seeing from the Inter players now. They have managed to win the ball back and found Zeko on halfway, and there's a good ball to release down the left-hand side, and now they could well be in business here. Into Gagliardini and a substitute in towards Alexis Sanchez, and the ball's a poor one in towards the near post. Easy for Alisson Becker, and he gathers up the ball at his near post, and he's just going to dump it off towards Andy Robertson on the left-hand side. It was Kingsley Coman, incidentally, who scored for Bayern Munich. Forward towards halfway. Luis Diaz's first touch was slightly heavy, and it just takes it back on himself. Andy Robertson is going to pick up the ball in the left-back position and go back in towards Alisson. We're inside the final 90 seconds of of the 90 minutes here before added on time. Liverpool just happy to keep the ball in their own final third. Alexander Arnold helps the ball forward towards James Milner. He was excellently challenged in the centre-half position by Skimria, and then there's a really loose ball from Inter, and they've given it away to Liverpool, and Mo Salah picks it up. That was Skimria who was guilty on that occasion. Out towards Alexander Arnold on the left-hand side, forward to Luis Diaz, who's getting everywhere since coming on the substitutes bench. He's a very fluid-looking player, and now here he is again, popping up on the left-hand side of the area. He was central just a moment ago. James Milner takes over, back towards Alexander Arnold, and back one more to Jordan Henderson. Forward to Naby Keita, and Jordan Henderson again will take over. Thought about a cross, goes back towards Van Dijk, out towards the left-hand side. Andy Robertson just stops the ball dead, and then jumps in front of it 2 times, then plays a ball sideways in towards Jordan Henderson, continues his run forward. He's looked for from the return pass from Jordan Henderson, but Matteo Darmian is there to close the attack down. His clearance isn't great though. James Milner twisted and turning, finds Naby Keita infield to Henderson again. And now out towards Robertson and Keita. And Liverpool just 1 and 2 touch football. They just pass and move, like a boxer, bobbing and weaving at the moment. Inter can't get close to them. When they do, all they can do is put the ball into touch. We are going to have 3 minutes of added on time, and we've just crossed into that. Now the 90 minutes are up, and a final substitution for Inter. That's all 10 substitutions today. And Bastoni is going to come off for DiMarco just for the last 3 minutes of this added on time period. Bastoni's had a decent game for Inter this evening, but ultimately he was the unfortunate one, I think. It may have taken 2 or 3 deflections on the way through, to be honest, but Bastoni's the one that was obvious as the shot came in for Liverpool for the second goal, leaving the goalkeeper helpless. He was really unfortunate, not a lot he could do about it, just one of those things. And Liverpool profit. They've got the ball with Alexander-Arnold, early ball looking for Luis Diaz, who's now popped up on the right-hand side. I said he gets everywhere. And DiMarco just settles it down, and Darmian will take over in towards Caliengo. Back it goes towards the centre half for Inter. Right-footed ball, long ball, looking for Perisic down the left-hand side. Alexander-Arnold's back defending though. Alexis Sanchez chases the loose ball, plays it forward, and can only find Jordan Henderson, and he'll find Alexander-Arnold, who will clear long. Roberto Firmino's going to give chase. He won't get there first, and it's helped all the way back to Handanovic, and we have played 1.25 minutes now of the 3 that were indicated. DiMarco takes the ball midway inside his own half, just in from the left touchline for Inter. Left-footed ball in towards halfway, and Alexis Sanchez takes it and finds Brozovic just at the tip of the centre circle. Back it goes, and Inter will quite happily move it forward from the centre half area out towards DiMarco again, twisted and turning. Mo Salah putting him under pressure. He's forced back towards the centre half and then out towards the right hand side here for Inter. They're midway inside their own half. We're about to, we've got about 10 seconds left of this minute, and Alexis Sanchez comes deep and he tries to release it out towards Darmian, and there is an excellent challenge from Andy Robertson. He goes to ground. He had to get the timing spot on, and he did so ahead of the former Manchester United man, which will please him. And then Brozovic couldn't take up the charge either, and Liverpool have it with Alexander-Arnold. Forward it goes towards Luis Diaz, again very central. Now he's dropped out towards the right hand side. He's going to take over from Alexander-Arnold and play the ball inside towards Keita. Out towards Alexander-Arnold again. Keita finds Mo Salah, back to goal, surrounded by 3 blue shirts, but Salah amazingly manages to keep hold of the ball, then trying to go down the channel, and he's still got the ball here, Mo Salah. They just cannot dispossess him, and eventually Keita goes to take over, and then he fouls the Inter man. He goes through the back of him. We've only got about 20 seconds of added on time left to play. I've got absolutely no idea how Mo Salah managed to keep hold of the ball on that occasion, but the challenge from Andy Robertson was an excellent one against Matteo Darmian just a little bit earlier on, and then Brozovic tried to take up the charge, and Alexander-Arnold got there first. He's just down that side, and Inter have taken the free kick. We've played the 3 minutes of added on time, and there is the final whistle. And Liverpool did leave it late, but they are job done as far as they're concerned. Inter Milan started that second half very, very well indeed. They were excellent for long, long periods until the 75th minute of the game, where a corner from Andy Robertson from the right-hand side managed to find the run of Roberto Firmino, and he flicks the header on at the near post, finding the corner at the far post. Nothing the goalkeeper could have done about it at all. And then Mo Salah, 8 minutes later, had a striker goal from just inside the penalty area. It took at least one deflection on the way through, but possibly another one as well, and it completely wrong-footed the goalkeeper. The second leg's in around about 3 weeks' time, and Liverpool will be taking Inter back to Anfield full of confidence, and possibly be able to rest players. Not too many, because Inter really were decent in that second half, and Liverpool will have to guard against any sort of complacency. This isn't the Premier Club European competition in Europe for no reason at all. So Liverpool will still have to do their job, but they'll be able to do their job a lot happier with after tonight's performance. Full time then from the San Siro, and thank you for everyone.